Hi, good morning, good evening, friends. I'm Kumkum from Bridge. On behalf of entire Bridge team, I would like to welcome you all on live open session episode 33. Again, I have Mr. Saket Bansal with me. Thank you very much, Saket, for joining me again. And as usual, the agenda is driven by you, not by me. And we have a very simple format. Okay, we are live on LinkedIn, we are live on YouTube, we are live on Facebook. If you have any questions, you can add your questions in the comment section. I'll add your question, I'll ask your questions, and Saket will answer your questions. So, guys, without any more delay, let's start the session and you can post your questions. So, Saket, tell me how you would like to start the session today.
So all good. I think we wait for a while and see if there are some queries related to certification or the learning programs which we run. Anything with the roles which are associated with the learning program which we run. All those questions can also be probably get explored. Yeah. So as you all know that the process is pretty simple. You just need to put your query in the place wherever you are watching this particular program. So if you are watching it from YouTube, the YouTube is a good place to put your query, else the LinkedIn is the another place to put your query. Yeah, usually it takes time to start up with the queries because it takes some time before people start joining in, but yes, definitely we can keep exploring the ideas till the time we are here. So perfect. So we start. Yeah. If Kumkum, you have something to start with, we explore that and then we take it forward.
Sure. So, guys, before asking the question, I just wanted to give you the very quick background behind this thought process of these sessions. So, we are running these sessions since last 33 weeks. I think the more than 33 weeks, but this is the episode number 33, and our goal is to help people to select the right certification or training for their career growth. So, if you have any questions related to your career growth, if you are looking to upgrade yourself, this is the place, this is the right forum to ask your questions. Whatever we are going to share, it's just our view, our vision, and the things are we are seeing in the market. You can check again with the any other expert. So now I have the question for Saket. Saket, one guy yesterday asked me, his organization is offering him the release manager role. So he's asking, what could be the best certification for me to justify with this job?
So see, the release manager profile is handled differently at different places. In many cases, it is a role which is just needed for the configuration management and release management. In some cases, the role is more about coordinating the release with a multiple stakeholder and then making the release possible. So one has to find it out. It's a little tricky word. Most probably it will be a more towards configuration management and release management. So the technical and configuration management role might be there. So if it is a configuration management space, then one has to go through more technical certification program, something like DevOps and all. Kanban way of working may also help. If it is more on the business release management, then looking for the management programs like PMP certification, Agile coaching might be useful. So one has to go through a little bit more details rather than just limiting to the title. Okay, so we have another question coming in. So welcome to the session, Sayed. So you are a Scrum Master, and what do you recommend as a next? You are already certified Scrum Master, so that's what I'm hearing. So my usual recommendation is, it depends the type of organization you are working and your aspirations. If you are working in a project service delivery type of organization where the Scrum is used in the project context, means you have a contract, you have a client, you have a billing, some foundation for billing, maybe a timesheet or something, then as a next profile, you might need to strengthen your project management skills. Yeah, even if you are starting with a Scrum Master, you may want to go into a project management space to learn that. So doing PMP certification kind of stuff might be useful. But if you are working in a space where Scrum is used in a product mode, where there is a product backlog, there is a product organization, there are continuous evaluation or incremental deliveries happening, then moving towards advanced Scrum Master path is a good idea, because you may want to strengthen your Scrum skills. So that's a default recommendation. Now, if you are looking for a Scrum Master role in the different types of organization, and you see many times those type of organizations are using Scaled Agile framework, then looking for SAFe as a knowledge to start with is a good idea. And for that, you can do a leading SAFe program. Yeah. So that's something can be seen. For a current organization space, you can focus on focusing on either on project management or advanced Scrum Master. And if you see frequently the SAFe thing is coming up, then you may be taking the forward there. Yeah. Okay, so PMP, A-CSM, and leading SAFe, all three are good. You may need to sequence them as per your requirement. So as an Agile coach, ART level, who needs to learn SAFe extensively, which is the SAFe best certification? So Scaled Agile Framework has around 14 certification program, and they have certification program for, they don't have a program for a coach, they have a program for consultant or a release train engineer or a Scrum Master. So again, most of these programs will teach you the foundational details of SAFe, and then you need to build on top of it. Going to a scaledagileFramework.com is the most important extensive knowledge base. Now, cost effectively, as well as positioning yourself for a Scrum Master and a senior Scrum Master kind of a profile, advanced Scrum Master seems to be a good idea. But if you see the ROI of investing more money, then you may think of doing release train engineer as well. So these are the two delivery oriented roles, or a certification one can take it: advanced Scrum Master or a release train engineer. The price difference and the branding is significantly different. If you want to get into consulting and coaching space with a SAFe, then they have a SAFe program consultant, which is also different in the form of pricing. It has been put. Yeah. Again, knowledge of SAFe can be acquired by way of extensively understanding Scaled Agile framework. These certification programs sets the foundation, but you need to acquire more things, because 2 days, 3 days, or 4 days program may not be sufficient to understand even SAFe in very, very extensive manner. It's a good starting point for any space. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, it's a good idea to watch the 7 video series for SAFe. Yeah, thank you for watching that. And we have some more videos on SAFe as well on the same playlist. But yes, the 7 essential terms of SAFe is a good starting point. Yeah, that's something even without doing certification, one can watch and get a good insight about it. Yeah. Okay, so Anand, I understand you are Anandan talking about mechanical engineering graduate. Maybe let us know the follow-up thing. If you are into IT project management space, then probably we can assist you. We may not have any idea for mechanical certification paths, but yeah, we can help you in the IT leadership programs related things. Now, what is the difference between release train engineer and business release manager? So I can say the release train engineer is a known role, but I am not aware of business release manager. I don't know which framework is recommending that role. As far as release train engineer is concerned, it's a program management role, as a coordination, facilitation, collaboration role, which ensures multiple agile teams, which are called agile release train, delivers the business value. So you can say it's a coaching, mentoring, facilitating Scrum Masters, and ensuring multiple teams are chasing the common goal. That's the whole idea of release train engineer. Business release manager, I'm not sure. We need to see an organization description there. Now, what is the difference between PMP, Scrum, and Prince certification? So we are not into Prince 2 space, so we can't speak much about it. But if you want to know anything about PMP certification or PMI ACP certification, we can help. There is nothing called PMP Scrum as much I understand from PMI, but PMI does run their flagship program, which is the most popular program, named PMP, Project Management Professional. And the current PMP certification has good amount of agile related content into it. So if you are looking for project management plus agile knowledge, and you are working in the agile plus project context together, doing PMP certification is a good idea. Okay. Okay, so which course is best in the operational management, including process management? So incidentally, we spend more time into project management space in our curriculum programs. But if you are focusing on agile ways of working, and then you want to relate to your operational management job in the agile context, from our side, we can recommend you the program which are related to Kanban. So we have a Kanban Universities program. We call it KMP certification. That could be a one technical certification which you can take to understand how to optimize the flow of work, how to identify bottlenecks, and maybe there could be some things which are more focused on development space, but you can relate well with the operational space as well. So that's a one technical part of it. The another management and leadership part of program, because the leadership role may involve working with people, influencing them, coaching them, irrespective of it's a project context or operational context. So we do have a coaching way of leadership, and that is we call it ICF ACC program, which is primarily a coaching program. It helps you to become a better coach, because in our understanding, the future leaders, even current leaders, are the one who are succeeding. They are adapting the coaching style of leadership. With certification or without certification, that's a different thing, but coaching style of leadership is also a good idea. So from our kitty of programs, we can suggest two: Kanban, which is a KMP one, and then another one is the ICF ACC, which is more on a soft skill side, which is more on a leadership skill side. So these are the two. Now you may find some domain technical certification programs also, which can help you to do little bit more quality analysis and process optimization thing. But yeah, these are the two from our space. Okay, so I am CSM, PSM certified. Which one can be the next, A-CSM or PSM2 going forward will be benefit suggest thing. So I say that you take one of them, because see, CSM, PSM, I consider them more or less as an alternative to each other. And rather than picking up these two together, you need to choose a particular path. Now, the Scrum Alliance and Scrum.org, they have their own different style of certifying and supporting the professionals. We are more familiar and supporting the journey which is associated with Scrum Alliance. That's a disclosure. Now, what I see here is, if you want to get into team coaching and other coaching roles, and you may also want to get into doing coaching as well as training, and probably professionally getting into that, maybe making career out of it, then getting into the Scrum Alliance path may give you many more options for that, rather than professional Scrum path. Yeah, that's my interpretation, because we also have a team coach, enterprise coach, and trainer. So these three formal recognized senior certification, you can say, are available. And these three has a business model attached to it. One can start making professional career out of it. That's a one possibility. So that's the reason we probably spend more time in the Scrum Alliance space. But rest, you need to see your career path. These things, Scrum path and all, are good when your organization is stick to product way of working or Scrum way of working, or you want to make a career in a space where Scrum way of working or product way of working is something desired. If you want to get into service organization where project mode of delivery is important, then you need to strengthen your project management skills, because there they will expect you doing contracting, stakeholder management, reporting, and all those kind of invoice handling, budgeting kind of things as well, which are not the area of concern for the Scrum Alliance path. They are more focused on team coaching and organization level enablement and all, rather than doing project style of doing things. So project style of working is missing, or in a way not recommended in this case, space of Scrum path forward. Yeah, so that's the whole context. Uh, If you're just choosing the Scrum Alliance scrum.org, you may want to consider the probability of making your future career out of it. Yes, the disadvantage with Scrum Alliance is that there is a renewal fees attached to it, whereas a scrum.org does not have a renewal fees attached to it. That seems to be one of the differentiator they have. And another differentiator is that the Scrum Alliance programs are always training oriented. You must attend a training in order to get certified, where scrum.org programs can be exam oriented. Without attending the training, you can directly go ahead and give the exam. So that's a possible parameter you may want to look at. Yeah. Okay, so that's a good idea. I have experienced the project management. I plan to get the PMP first. So that's a great idea. We do have many clients who are doing PMP. They are coming from engineering background. Though many times PMP looks like more inclines towards IT way of working nowadays, but many of our clients are taking it as an opportunity or as a challenge to learn that space as well, because the project management in the engineering field is also getting merged with many time project management in the IT field. So there are possibility of some part of IT oriented project management coming even in the engineering project management space. So that's the reason we feel our customers are also exploring project management in more detail. So that's looks like a good idea. We do have a lot of video content to support your learning in case of PMP. I personally run a live virtual program where we follow the PMI's curriculum, because we are PMI authorized training partner. So we are expected to follow the PMI curriculum, which enables you to get certified in the PMP space. It takes around 2 months time to complete the whole journey, provided you spend around 150 to 200 hours of effort. Yeah, so usually 150 to 200 hours of effort across the two overall in the 2 months time makes you PMP certified. Yeah. Okay, so we have what next after the Scrum Master. So my recommendation is there are many paths. So there is a delivery path, which is a project management path. There is a Scrum path where you want to get into advanced or more complicated Scrum implementation coaching. So Agile coaching is another path. There could be a scaled Agile path. So these are the possible paths. So I would say that uh, the future role depends upon how well you develop your competencies. If you are working in the service organization where project way of working is important, then you may need to make your career path with the help of project management direction. But if you are working in a space where agile transformation, agile way of working seems to be the big thing, or you may aspire to work in that area, then going towards coaching space is a good idea. You may get into coaching, agile coaching and learning, and that will improve your current Scrum Master job as well, because coaching is an essential skill which is needed for Scrum Masters as well. It's just a way of dealing with things. So agile coaching or a project management space, many times people are getting into doing Scrum Master job in a large team context, which is usually associated with scaled agile. So getting a Scrum Master role in a safe environment, or moving towards a role where you are mentoring, coaching multiple Scrum Master in a scaled agile context, many times also known as a release train engineer or a program manager role, that's also a future possibility. So I would say that spend some time to think about your competencies and the skills which you have, and see in which direction they are more aligned to, how your previous experience relates to the future path. And accordingly you probably, and also you need to see what kind of opportunities are easy to get, because just building skills are not enough. So based on skills, opportunities, and your area of interest, you may be able to find out the desired direction. Okay, so just to take a quick pause to remind everyone. So if you are watching this conversation on YouTube or LinkedIn, feel free to put your query, or you can share also your ideas. Yeah, just type it out, and then we'll probably focus on that. Okay, so one of the participants sending, so PMP certified, it was good experience and could not clear in the first attempt, but cleared in the second attempt, and it became pretty smooth. So congratulations. And again, attempt doesn't matter. It's just a way of doing. Sometimes people keep postponing giving the PMP exam. that itself is multiple attempts. I keep reminding people, if you keep postponing giving your PMP exam for 6 months, what if you give the exam after 2 months and give it again after 3 months? Yeah, that's the same thing, because you are not certified for 6 months. So it's great that you went ahead, you took the feedback, and then you improve it and then move forward. Yeah. Okay, so what could be the next path after PMP certification? So from our understanding, especially from PMI space, we see that majorly the PMP certification is the most popular certification in the PMI space. And usually these certifications plays a role for giving you the foundational knowledge and I would say credibility. So PMP certification should help you enough at that level. But in case you want to improve your credibility in the agile way of working, in case that is important, then picking up some agile programs like Certified Scrum Master may be a good idea if you have not done it already. With the help of PMP, you might already knowing the concepts, but maybe doing the Certified Scrum Master, if not done, is a kind of hygiene thing. One can do it. Yeah, that's one recommendation I can give. If you want to put more focus on your soft skills development, leadership skills development, I would recommend you also explore doing something in the coaching space. Yeah, so it's like that, okay, how can I influence people so that they get their things done on their own? Yeah. So that skill is a leadership skill, a one way of doing leadership, and we call it coaching way of leadership. So any way of working, be it agile way of working, project management way of working, operational way of working, learning and improving your coaching skills you may not work as a professional coach. You may not just start doing life coaching or all those things. Most of our clients are having no such aspiration, but they are doing this coaching program to make them enable for managing changes. They can handle transformations and change in a better way. Yeah, so that's something is a good idea to explore. So we have a certification program called ICF ACC. It's a little long-term program, 6 months plus, and it requires some amount of time investment. And yeah, if you see value in it, just a little bit do an exploration and let us know. We can assist you more in case you want to know more about it. Okay, so how a Scrum Master who shows a lot of resistance to good agile practices can be coached? So we will say that we want to influence someone. Coaching is something, the word coaching means that someone wants to get to something and you are helping the person to get to something. Yeah. But when you want to influence someone, it is not coaching. You may say, how do I influence someone to do something differently? So I would read this question as a, like, if you have a Scrum Master who has a resistance of lot of agile practices, how do I influence him or her to not to be resistive about it? Yeah, that's the thing. Now, influencing is not an easy job, yeah, because it requires, there are many factors which might be influencing the person for doing what the person is doing right now. So whatever person is doing, the person must be having reasons for it. Maybe the person is comfortable doing it. The person believes this is the only right way of doing it. Maybe person has a mindset which believes that this is something my stakeholder wants me to do it. So we need to understand what are the reasons, what are the gains person is getting because what the person is doing. Yeah, and how the overall environment is sustaining that behavior. Maybe some positive signals or negative signals are coming which sustains that particular behavior. Now if I have to make the person behave differently, I need to see what could be the gains the person will get, and does the person really care for those gains. You might be thinking he will get benefit, but are these benefit really needed to that, or the person feels the need of that particular benefit? Then only the person may look at it. So we need to see where the value overlap is there, what that person might be interested in, and then if you can show that possible thing is coming, he or she might want to look into. Might, yeah, because there could be a laziness, there could be other areas as well. So I think it's an open conversation showing the organization limitations also, because we may not be able to keep working the way someone wants to work. As an organization, you have your own boundaries, and you can have an open and fair conversation to understand how possibly two of you can work together or not work together, whatever it is. But we can have an open conversation to find out how to move forward. So that's a influencing thing, that's a working relationship things, that's a stakeholder management thing. Yeah, once the person wants to do something about it, then you can help him to get it there by way of mentoring and coaching. Okay, so we have someone who has a PMP exam tomorrow and looking for type of project termination. So please don't worry that much about these things. In a simple word, so you can say there are only two type of project termination: happy ending and unhappy ending. That's it. Yeah, that's the only thing. Now, happy ending, which means that you are completing your the desired objective and project is finishing. The unhappy ending can happen because of various reasons. Yeah. So now, what could be the unhappy ending? Yeah, maybe you run out of money. The organization is not having money anymore. Yeah. But again, you don't have to make a list in the PMP exam. You just need to see all four options and see based on what is the suitable for it. So any question in a PMP exam is not complete till the time we see four options associated. Sometimes you can have five options also, rarely, but options attached to it. Yeah. Only after seeing the options, the question gets completed. So one is that you may run out of money. The another could be the environment has changed, which makes the current project useless. Yeah, sometimes the competitor might have done something which makes your project unrelevant. Technological changes might have created a feasibility issue for you. The customer preferences might have changed. So even if you make something, it will not be useful. The compliance might have changed, the regulation might have changed, and you were focusing on some way of creating a regulation project. Now you have a new regulation, new law, which might also derail or terminate your project. So there could be various reasons. Calmly just see the options, and that's how you can probably find it out. Yeah. Okay, so that's the all about. So we explored Scrum Master influencing. We explored what next after PMP. We explored PMP question as well this time. Great. And we've explored some of the things related to A-CSM, PSM2, and operational management, and some of the safe learning and the safe videos. We do have a 50 plus videos on safe. If you see the whole playlist, and these playlists usually I use for my safe classes, and I run various types of safe classes like product management, product ownership, or the lean portfolio management, the advanced Scrum Master, as well as the leading safe is more frequently, but the others are also there. And that's why the video content covers the programs area which might be covered in many other programs. So I need to support a pre-learning for a portfolio class, so I put that content in place. I need to support a learning for visualizing user stories, features, and all those things, so I put the example based content for my POPM class. So if you are just exploring safe irrespective of or not focusing on a particular certification, maybe all 50 videos will be useful. Yeah. So they are primarily a kind of a support content for our leading safe classes. So we usually recommend during our classes that you should watch this before you come again. And most of the time our classes are spread across. They are not just 2 days. Usually they are spread across a week. So people get a time to digest the content as well as watch those videos. And that's the reason behind creating those videos. So yeah, even if you might have attended the classes or might be attending some 2 days classes, still you can make some use of those videos. So I encourage you to check them out. Okay, so we pause, we wait for a few more questions if they arise in our chat box. We started making some experiment with our Instagram channel as well nowadays. So we have not yet started doing Instagram live, but yes, there is a Instagram handler. We call it 𝐎𝐩𝐞𝐧 Official. So in case you are active on Instagram, may want to check some of our content there. It's a new experiment which we are running, but probably you may find some of those ideas interesting. Yeah, so please check it out whenever you go on Instagram next time. Yeah. And what we were discussing here as a story or a history, so it's like yeah, we started these sessions, these live sessions in July. So it's like about 1 year. Yeah. So next month in a way, and that's probably will complete. The first session was 23rd July, and after that we started numbering from 30th July onwards. So it's been a year we are doing this thing here. Yeah. Okay, so a question. Yeah, vertical slicing of a user story. Yeah, often increases the story points. how do we stay in the invest while still promoting the vertical slicing? So I would say the invest is a tool for vertical slicing. So let's go one by one. Whenever we divide the user story into smaller user stories, or a big user story into a smaller user stories, it is expected the estimation is going to increase by some percentage. So it's like this. Even if we don't focus on agile way of working, even we focus on traditional way of working, sometimes you do an estimation at a high level. You can say, I will do this work. And when you are near to that particular thing, you divide that work into a smaller piece. In traditional project management, we were calling it a work breakdown structure. Now, whenever we divide a smaller piece, we also involve those people who are expected to work on it. We also look at a current situation. We are having less assumptions. When we did a estimation at a higher level, we had a many assumptions. Now we know what is true and what is false. So usually it becomes more realistic. It means it is more near to the actual. We will be able to achieve it. And since it is becoming more realistic, it also get expanded. Yeah, so that's the expectation of a story slicing as well. So when you estimate a big epic or a big user story, it is just done at a high level. When you divide into a smaller pieces of a smaller story points, you expect 20 to 30% expansion happening. So I think that should be a part of our understanding, and that's what we teach as a cone of uncertainty. So as you elaborate things, it becomes more and more clear. Now, why do we elaborate? Somebody will say, oh, I don't want to increase it. I just want to keep it this big only. You can't work on that thing. You can't work on the big thing. You have to divide it. It is for the convenience. We not wanted to divide early because we were not thinking in that detail. We were not getting into acceptance criteria at that point in time. We just wanted to say that this is something we will make at some point in time, but this is not a right point in time, so we don't want to discuss it as of now. So it is by design. Initially, we want to talk less. Later on, we want to talk more. And then when we talk more, we know the reality in a better way. Yeah. Now, in order to make a story get executed in a given iteration, I need to make it small enough, which is, you may use the word invest or you call it ready story or whatever. It should be small enough so that it can easily fit into a given iteration. So that is needed. Else, I will have a one story running for multiple iteration. You will say, we are done 50% here and we will do 50% there. So which is not a recommendation thing, because 50% completion may be a wrong feedback to anyone, because we only come to know when it really gets done. So we don't want to get into a 50, 60, 70 issues. We just want to get into either done or not done. And that's the reason we want to have a smaller user stories for a given iteration. Okay, so this is what we explored till here. So I was talking about our Instagram channel. I was talking about the story of our conversation from last 1 month, less than 1 year, more or less. We started this whole thing in July. And yeah, initially we were doing every week, and then we moved to the alternate kind of second and fourth Friday format, which seems to be a better format to me at least. But yeah, that's what we are. Now, many of you may not be aware, we also have a channel on Clubhouse. So where we do more or less a weekly conversations, and it gives a bi-directional conversation space rather than this one is a little bit single directional, but it has a video. That's the only difference here, but that has a voice and you can also speak there. So in case you are familiar with this app called Clubhouse, you may want to search us there. And we run two rooms there in a way, clubs. Yeah. One is on PMP and another is on general Agile Scrum related stuff. So we do, it's like every week, like more or less 1 hour before this timing. Yeah, this timing was little delayed. So yeah, we do that particular thing pretty much frequently. Yeah. Okay, so a question coming in that if we move to a velocity-based planning, then how do we estimate ad hoc tasks, etc., etc.? So the in general idea here is the velocity-driven planning is usually used at a release level. We don't want to use it at a sprint level, because when you are doing velocity-driven planning, you are not clear who is going to work on what. Yeah. But when you do a sprint planning, you come to know who is going to work, and accordingly the time varies. Something you may take 1 day, I may take 3 days. But when we are doing velocity driven planning, we are just planning, we are not knowing who will do it. Yeah, so that's the reason when we do sprint planning, we want to get into a commitment driven planning, and when we want to do a velocity driven planning, we just want to be a long term forecast. Now, if you have passed through the variability and you have everybody understand what they are doing, there is no need of elaborating the user story or whatever work item is coming in a detailed way, then you may say, why do we do an iteration planning and all those things? Let's focus on that, okay, this week or this iteration, we can do these many stories, and then we keep working on them. Yeah. Then usually it is only recommended when you focus on flow way of working, like Kanban way of working, and that's something like, or maybe a mixed mode has happened, but more or less it went into a flow where the detailed understanding and exploration as a team is not needed. The idea of sprint planning meeting is all of us come together and explore how are we going to do it, who is going to work on which area, so that we can collaborate each other. If that is not needed, then only you go for that, okay, there is a story, let's work on it, and when you work on it, then only you will figure that out. Yeah. Now, how do we work for other items? You reserve capacity, so your velocity will automatically get adjusted. When you do other works, your future velocity will be less, so you will do based on that whatever latest velocity you get, or you may start explicitly reserving some percentage capacity for other type of work. So it's too much dependent on the history of work, that the way things are moving, and we should focus on what problem we are facing. Yeah, so rather than saying, should we go for velocity driven, should we reserve a capacity for defect, should we reserve a task, or should we have a buffer stories, all these things are ideas. They may be working in some places, may not be working in other places. But if I understand what is my problem, if my problem is I am unable to meet my commitment, yeah, what should I do? Then I can figure it out as a team together. Or if my problem is that we are having always available capacity, yeah, we finish too early, then I can also figure it out what could be my option. Or my problem is ad hoc work comes in between, and we end up missing our sprint goal. Then also we can say, okay, this problem can be solved in a particular way for our team. So we do a retrospective together. So I would say that all these tools are great tools, but the context is important, and context can be discovered by you and your team, and you can see which one is making more sense there. Okay, so moving forward, last 15 minutes, and see if we have something more left before we make a call. So we were getting many questions in our past conversations that, I have done certified Scrum Master class. I want to work as a Scrum Master, but I'm not getting an opportunity. I don't know how the real Scrum works. And whatever I have learned in the certified Scrum Master is something is not getting asked in the interviews, or I'm not even getting the interview call. So looking at these feedbacks, and then we work with some of our customers to support them to get ready. We have been doing that activity for around 1 year now. Ad hocly, we are working with at least 4 or 5 customers every month. Now, after working with them, after accumulating experience, seeing that they get success, they get placed as a Scrum Master, we came up with a program. We call it Industry Enabled Scrum Master, which is a competency building program, where we have designed the curriculum to support or to match a typical profile of a Scrum Master in the industry, rather than what is expected from a Scrum Master from Scrum Alliance area. Yeah. So that is something we have designed. And in case if you are also going through that particular kind of challenge where you want to explore that, okay, I have understood Scrum, but I'm lacking the hands-on experience, and that hands-on experience or the hands-on terminologies and tools knowledge is blocking me from getting the right job, then you can consider enrolling to our industry enabled Scrum Master program. It's a competency building program. At the same time, you do earn PDUs and SUs in case you are needing them to renew your current programs or certification. So it's something like formally we are launching it now, but we have been doing it informally for a while. So if something resonates with you, you may want to try that out in our upcoming week program. So we are running that starting, I think, first week of the June. Yeah. Okay, so when you are saying that you are working in a client and vendor situation and payment is done based on the story points, then we need to do a project management activities there. So you need to find out how do you benchmark those story points, and it's a contracting tool rather than an estimation tool. So then you need to deal that problem differently. Don't try to deal with the agile estimation way, because it's a contract problem. So contract problem requires proper definition, proper understanding of change management, and ensuring that your interests are taken care whenever something goes wrong, yeah, which may not necessarily always meet which is expected for estimation purpose. It was a problem in our traditional project management as well. When we do estimation, even in a traditional project management, we revisit estimation at each phase, and each phase may discover that we need 20% more, 30% more, 50% more time. Yeah, it's a reality which we face. Our contract might not allow us to get more money for it, but anyway we have to do it, so someone has to pay for it. Yeah, but as a project manager you need to make it feasible. So I can't say that these two things are independent, but at the same time they are interrelated but independent as well. So we need to make sure that our internal estimation is for our execution purpose, and we have a contract estimation, contract pricing, contract management separately done, yeah, which takes care of some safeguards. So similarly, in any project or any delivery, we need to do that things differently. Yeah. And that's a question which I'm saying that, how do we start estimation in agile methodology in a fixed project? So I think you don't do agile estimation when you have a fixed project. And I would personally say that you don't apply agile there, because you don't want to do something which is not suitable here. So do you want to have a, a change of requirement keeps happening but your monies are fixed? Yeah, you may not want to do that until unless you are doing the estimation based on time and material. So fixed price, fixed scope is a good thing to do, but don't do changes afterwards. You need to protect yourself. So it will be a kind of weird case where someone wants to follow change in scope and change in features and want to give you fixed money. So I don't think any vendor will agree to. And at the same time, maybe customer should also not go for it, because they will also face a risk if they are going into such kind of situation. Okay, so we have, can a QA ticket and dev ticket be different in a one team? And is the BA profile is less than the Scrum Master? Okay, so let's go one by one. So it all depends upon your organization, yeah, in a reality. Now, what is expected is collaboration. Now, having separate ticket or having common ticket may not necessarily impact collaboration. Yeah. So ideally, it is usually anticipated if we keep the same item and we move from one stage to another stage, we probably can collaborate better rather than creating a boundary between QA type of activities and dev type of activities. So the expectation here in the agile world is that if you start blocking yourself into boundaries, you end up doing some dysfunctions. You end up wasting money, wasting organization resources. So how can we make you both collaborate? Yeah, even if you do different activities, but collaborate and focus on a common goal. So collaboration is the need. Now, how do you achieve that collaboration? Now, in majority of the cases, people will say that if we have a common work item where both of us can work together rather than creating boundaries out of it, that can probably create a better collaboration. So that's a usual thing. But again, you may have some reasons, some contracting reasons or something which makes you do separately. But again, we need to explore, even with separation, how can we have a common or a better collaboration? Yeah. So that's one thing. Now, is the BA profile is better than a Scrum Master profile, etc.? It all depends upon the organization and the context. If the organization see more value in the work you are doing because you are doing complex business analysis, they will pay you more. Yeah, they will treat you differently. If organization believes that there is a complex environment and complex coordination need, they may value the coordination and collaboration job more. So I personally feel it's a type of work organizations are doing. Some organizations which are into a core skill area, they usually give more weightage and criticality to product-oriented roles because it requires historical knowledge. They believe these guys understand what we are doing, and if they leave, we need to train someone at that level. So those kind of an organization may focus on those people more, whereas they believe coordination people, collaboration people who are just facilitating, even if they leave, we can find someone else and they can quickly get up the things moving. So that's a possible belief of an organization. The another organization who might not be getting into those core areas that much, but their job is working with the people, facilitating it and getting billing made based on how many people are working, like a service organization. There the project or a facilitation coordination roles may hold a little bit more value because they believe that you can hire a new guy and get the same billing, and we don't care because customer is the one who is going to pay for it. Even if he is a new guy or an old guy, I get the same money. I need someone who can keep the account clean and keep moving things forward. So those people or those organizations may value a little more towards a facilitation or a coordination roles. Yeah. So that's how one should see, and that's how you can probably also build your skills. Okay, so I teach a lot of PMP, and even in the PMP space, we keep exploring that not to mix the contract estimation, contract pricing with project estimation and project planning. Yeah, they are related overall, but ultimately we may not be able to change contract estimate, but we must change our project estimate on a daily basis as we discover something. So you may still get the same money, and that might be true in the agile way of working or non-agile way. It has been true all the time in a non-agile way of working. Now, if you are working in a non-agile way and you are working and designed by a contract, you need to see what are the advantages and risk associated with the contract and how can I safeguard myself. That's my contract management approach. And then I need to drive how I have an execution approach, which ensures that we take care of a reality on a daily basis. And at the same time, we should have some kind of a safeguards made in our contract. So if the reality goes drastically different than we estimated, we should have some mechanism to protect ourselves. Yeah. So that's I think, broad understanding. Exact contract, exact thing varies. But if you have a fair understanding of your work, the doing incremental requirement analysis and talking about incremental things may not be useful. Say I want to make a solution for a compliance requirement, and requirement is already given in a book to me by the government, and then I already have a requirement. Probably I can still do iterative or incremental development to deliver things early, but at the same time the requirement is already given to me. So I may have some hybrid approach where it has a batch size which is incremental in nature, but in a way my scope is already fixed. Now, if I have a hybrid approach, I will have a hybrid contract as well. I will say, okay, this is my hybrid execution approach. This is my hybrid contract approach. This is how we safeguard our interest, and this is how we execute things. So in order to learn more, my recommendation is people who are working in the project mode and agile mode better develop the project management skills with the help of certification programs like PMP, where you learn about procurement and other spaces as well. Again, certification is just a tool. You need to learn project management. That's what I feel can help you in growing your prospects. Okay, so that's all about estimation, BA, Scrum Master, project management, and all those stuff. And project termination happened early. Yeah. Okay, so final 5-10 minutes. If someone has something, we can explore. I'll see you later. Yeah, that's something we are heading towards. So again, just a reminder, you can type your question in the area wherever you are watching this, whatever tool you are using, you just need to type it. I see many are watching on YouTube. Some of you are watching on LinkedIn. That's what I can see it here. Yeah, so feel free to put your point in whichever tool you are watching to. Okay, so can we discuss story point estimation? Yeah, I would say yes. I have added 4 videos for it. Yeah, because it was little difficult thing to elaborate, and I was piecemeal elaborating it. So I have added a video talk about what is estimation in agile context, then talk about what is story point estimation, Then the another video talking about how to do a story point estimation by way of doing planning poker. And the final video I have added explaining the difference between story points and effort. So my recommendation is please look at those 4 videos. It will be overall half an hour content, all these 3 components put together, and they will give you a sufficient idea. In a simple way, it's a initiative, it's a tool. Again, you don't have to too much attached to it. The problem we are trying to solve with the story point is how can we estimate as sufficiently the complexity and the quantum of work we have in hand without getting into the details of dividing the work or identifying who is going to work on it. So I don't want to get into the detailed activity because I'm not sure is this work is going to be remain stable or it is going to change. But in order to do my planning, I need to have some level of understanding. So that's the objective. If you can find some other tool to serve that objective, go ahead with it. It's like some amount of estimation which can help you in forecasting your future effort, cost, timelines at some percentage without getting into the detail. Now, StoryPoint does it with the help of things like they focus on relative sizing. We look at various work items and try to put into various buckets as per the judgment of individuals who are sitting together and doing that particular activity. So I would recommend checking those 4 videos. If you just put StoryPoint 𝐎𝐻𝐸𝐵 on a YouTube channel, I think you should be able to find it. If not, just let me know as a comment back. We will share the link. So the question is, should a regulatory project adopt a SAFe framework? So in general, the SAFe way of working is not a project way of working. So from SAFe perspective, they are saying don't do projects. Yeah, that's the thing. Do initiative, do solutions, do product, do value streams, yeah, but don't work in a project mode. So there is no specific recommendation to work in a regulatory project using SAFe, yeah, in a way. Now, can I use some amount of SAFe ideas and see how can I design my own project plan on top of it? Yes, you can do. Yeah, but you need to design that solution for yourself. You can use SAFe's essential SAFe component, but you need to add things around it. There is no project solution ready for you. You may need to add your project chartering, project management planning, project kind of a roadmaps and vision kind of stuff, and then do an execution with the help of essential SAFe. I see many of our clients or practitioners doing it, so but that you have to create yourself. Yeah. Okay, so the question is, what will be the next step after Scrum Master? If someone is working as a Scrum Master and gets an offer as a business analyst, which one is better? So I would say that both the skills has a different path. I believe the business analysis requires you to better and put more analytical skills. So it's more analysis of what user needs, how to present the user requirements so that stakeholder can agree or disagree on it, how to present the user requirements so your engineering team can develop it. Yeah, so that's a whole skill of business analysis. Now, the Scrum Master skill is I facilitate, I lead, I inspire, and I create high-performing team. Now, the excellence in both the areas can take you at any level. So if you get excellent in inspiring and creating teams, you can become a big leader and you can be a department head or whatever. Yeah, there. If you get a good insights into handling the requirements and identifying those right features, which makes company profits goes high, then also company will like you because you are making money for them by identifying the right feature, the business analysis job. So see where your skills are matching. In both the areas, there are direction. If you feel that I am a type of person who can sit, analyze, look at the trend, see something which others can't see, and put up the thing in such a way so that people can find out what is the right thing to do, business analysis is your area. If you believe I am the kind of a guy who wants to talk, and who wants to facilitate and inspire and train people, and that's what I want, and whenever things get blocked, I can handle the stakeholders and get things moving, yeah, then a Scrum Master is a good for you, which may leads to project management and future type of development. Yeah. Okay, so we can say that is it necessary to go CSM or PSM? I would say not at all. Yeah, it all depends upon what you want to do. So I personally believe hardly 20% of the Scrum Masters are certified. There are 80% Scrum Masters who has not taken certification and they're enjoying their job. Yeah, it's not like 100% professionals are certified. Very, very small percentage. That's something I can see it. Now, why and one should do it when you believe that I want to. There are set of people who want to show the excellence in their trade. This is if I'm doing Scrum, I want to be better knowledgeable about Scrum and I want to demonstrate that I am it. So those are the guy. Or there are people who want to get into some other job or want to do a career transitioning and they want to make sure that someone look at them as a Scrum Master. Yeah. So that's something they will do it. So if the individual is already doing a Scrum Master job and they are happily working in their space and because of their experience level they find it easy to find another job, I don't see a need of a certification. But if you want to polish your things because you believe my Scrum may not be the exactly right Scrum, I want to see how Word is doing. My view might be tunneled on my implementation only because I am just taking a one implementation as a Scrum Master. I want to see how the Word is doing. So those are the type of people who go for formal education. Yeah. So, what is my learning plan for the near future? I am confused about them. I'm thinking, exploring, but I am spending more time nowadays on data analysis and tools. Yeah, because I personally started feeling that I got intermediate diverted into soft skills development and other space. But I realized that the soft skill or a emotional intelligence kind of development and learning are very individual paths. They don't happen like this. So I'm again back to focusing on concrete stuff where we focus on data analysis, where we focus on making the tools running the productive thing. So yeah, that's the space which I am focusing on. Yeah. Okay. So what are the top reasons, etc., etc.? So I would say that the failure and success itself is a very variable word. So I don't know what is the meaning of failure and what is the meaning of success. Yeah, because it is treated by different people differently. Something may look a failure to you, may be positioned as a success for someone else. So it all depends what is called success, yeah, and what is the meaning of success for someone. Yeah, but yes, there are studies which shows various reasons for success, failures for success, like that the digital IO, the state of agile report. One can look into it and find some ideas, but these all things are defined by different people differently. Okay, so in some companies, if you are certified, you are not eligible for interview. Good, yeah, maybe it's a new information. Yeah, probably. But again, they have a choice of going to other companies, and similarly, there could be some companies who may put certification as a preference. So it all depends upon what you want and how you want to date. Looking for an on-site job, is the CSM certification with CSM, is it possible? So I think we had some conversation on certification, and if we take that conversation further. So see, a final job or a fitment is not driven on one parameter alone. There are multiple parameter which the employer, you are hiring someone. Say you want to hire someone for your team. How do you decide? So you have a multiple criterias, and you may work with 10 people to find out who all fits into those criteria, and whoever fits best you hiring. Yeah, it may not necessary that you get the desired guy all the time. So we need to focus on what is my target profile and what are the things recruiter might be looking at when they are looking for that target profile. Now, when I focus on, say, I want to work in the Scrum Master profile in the on-site space, I might need to see, okay, what kind of a critical skills are needed in the Scrum Master. So you can say the facilitation skills, working with the product owner, understanding of scaling frameworks, understanding of Kanban, understanding of user stories, ability to coach product owner, understanding of tools like Jira and all, and ability to influence for a better quality, all are needed. Yeah. So Now, something might you have learned with the help of certification. Other things might be you learn based on your experience, or something you may learn yourself. Yeah. So for a tool, we observed that 60 to 70% of the Scrum Master job was stressing on the tool. That's why in the recent time, we created around 12, 13 videos on how to learn Jira. So you can start from a video one, which helps you to get the 10 user license for free, and then you can play with it if anyone is not getting that opportunity. And then you can do more and more coding into Jira, and create notification and other stuff as well, to build one of the skill which we saw was kind of demanding in multiple places. So Scrum, Kanban, Safe, tools, facilitation, working with people should be able to give you the desired profiles if you are targeting Scrum Master space. Yeah. Okay, so is the customer feedback is a metric? If yes, why? If not, why? Yeah. So what is metrics? Metrics is something which is helping us to know what is happening. So metrics is a feedback. So metrics itself is primarily meant for some feedback. Now, feedback on what? Sometimes you say, I want to see a feedback on how my quality is doing. You may say, we want to measure how many defects we got in a week. It's a feedback. It's a tool which is telling you, guys, your feedbacks are high. Now, you may want to get a matrix which you talk about how many customer escalation you got in a particular week. Or you may run a survey and you see that how many customer had a positive review or a negative review about it. That's also a feedback. That's also a matrix. Now, which matrix is relevant for you? It depends upon your organization need for the feedback. Which area? Now, I would say, okay, I as an individual can get 100 feedback. Somebody may want to know a feedback. Oh, how I am looking, tell me. For that guy, that's the matrix. Am I looking good? Is this thing is looking good? The guy might be only worried about that matrix. Or I may say, okay, how was my session? Was I fluent enough? Was the questions were handled well? For me, that's a matrix. Now, is this the right matrix or wrong matrix? Two people have a different goals. Yeah, someone wants to focus on modeling and want to focus on the look. Someone wants to focus on answering the question well. Both wants to know the feedback. So definitely, it's a feedback. Any feedback is a matrix. Making money is a matrix. Not making money is also a matrix. But who needs what? It depends upon the organizational objective. So usually the customer service oriented companies focus on collecting the customer feedback. Many companies don't collect the customer feedback, but they track their sale to understand, are we serving the customer well? Because just collecting feedback not necessarily let you know customers are happy or not. By looking at the sale, by looking at the customer journey, you get the feedback. So if I'm running a restaurant, I can say my metrics would be, if I ever run a restaurant, the amount of wastage the customers are leaving in on the plate. I just want to check that. If the wastages are high, I would consider my food is not good. Yeah, there is something wrong. Yeah, either I'm charging too low or something is wrong. That's my feedback. Somebody may take a survey form. How happy are you from our restaurant services? Maybe that also a matrix. Okay, so I think this all for today. It was a good interaction. All thank you for joining in. Yes, Yakumkum, you wanna close something? Yes.
Yeah, so I think there's already a spillover of 3 minutes, and the time boxing which we are teaching to the participants, so we should also learn. Yeah, so I think this is the time to say bye, and we'll be back again on the second week of June, second Friday. Let me just quickly check what would be the date. It's 10th of June. So these sessions we have on the second Friday and the fourth Friday. So the second Friday of June is 10th of June. We'll be back again. And if you have any questions, we are always available on LinkedIn and sales@eisenbrush.com. You can send your queries. We'll answer your queries there also. And yeah, so for now, bye for now, and take care of yourself. Send your queries. And yeah, I'm active on LinkedIn. Let me just share my LinkedIn profile with you quickly. So there it is. I'm active on LinkedIn. You can post your questions there also. Bye.